Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. So I'm here for my main wrap up. Wrap up. Still sounds a bit weird. Wrap up. Wrap up. Supposed to get just say wrap up. Yeah, I suppose I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, sorry. Wrap up. Yeah, that sounds weird as well. Anyhow, I'm going to talk about books I read in May. That works better. So some of them I already talked about in my Bibliophone wrap up and my mini contemporary wrap up. Felt like it was something else. Those two. Was there further readathon I forgot about? Anyway, yeah. I do specific wrap-ups for the readathons, but this is like for the books that weren't a part of those. So, yeah. A bit of a summary, I suppose, just in the beginning to start with. I had planned to read a lot of historical books during May. Didn't happen. Well, it happened and it didn't happen. I kind of wanted to read like historicals. Historicals. So like what historicals? Like I was thinking like to read. I was thinking about reading books from the 1800s, 1600s, 1700s. Yeah, I just ended up reading one book like that. Two books like that. Most of them are newer, but they're still historicals. Though, how do you define historicals? I think that's kind of up to the reader, or I think it's a bit blurry line, really. But yeah, there's to say it like this. A few of the books that I read took place in the past, as in more than 20 years ago, as in before the 80s. So is that historical? Forgive me. Anyway, yeah, I'll just get on with it, shall we? So I'm just gonna start with the start. Haha. So in the beginnings, in the early beginnings, in the early era, in the early days of the month, I finished the the Gilded Wolves by Rosanne Chokshi. So I've been reading this on and off since I think maybe January, and then I finally just kind of picked up and read all of it in the beginning of the month in May. I did enjoy it. I did like it. I can't say I loved it. I saw books like Woe, Beautiful Bookish Bethany, one of those talking about this one, and they felt like the book was interesting, but they weren't sure if they were going to read the second book, and that they felt like the world was too. No, I felt the world was good, but the characters were too flat. Honestly, for me, I enjoyed the characters. I felt the world was somehow a bit confusing, even though it just takes place in our world. It takes place in alternative Paris or an alternative history of our world. So it has Paris and India and all these real places, but there's magic in this world, and then there's some stuff that happened that didn't happen in real life that we know of. Um, but yeah, some of the aspects of this book confused me a bit, and I felt like some of the characters, honestly, and some of the places were a bit similar, so I confused them as well. So honestly, I think it actually would just have helped just having like one or two pages in the beginning where it said like house so and so, this so and so, and just kind of like an explanation pages really, because sometimes you have books where they start with like all the names of characters, or they have like a family tree or family tree or something. And this one didn't. So yeah, but I did enjoy it. I felt the ending there was like what. So that was interesting. Though it didn't really. I kind of expected more to happen. It didn't really happen that much in this book. There wasn't that much happening. There was like more character development than like character involvement and interaction. There wasn't that much action, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm still going to pick up the second book and the third book. Or I suppose if the second book is awful, I probably won't pick up the third book. But I'm curious about the second book, so I want to get to that one. And yeah, as I said, this one takes place in 1889. but it's alternative historical. So does it count as a historical then? I suppose it depends how you count it, how you think about it. But so this counts ish for my goal. And then give me a moment. And then actually read. I thought I just read the last two in this, but actually read the whole series. Dark Mirror, Dark Passage, and Dark Destiny. I read them all last month. So these two, well, this is a reread. I'm actually a bit unsure if this was a reread or not, because I remember the beginning, but I didn't remember the end of it. So if maybe I just read the beginning and I didn't finish it before, or maybe I read like excerpt from it before. I'm not sure. And then Dark Destiny, I know this one I know I didn't remember at all. It's completely first time reading. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And this one is historical. Though again, it's kind of tricky because it's okay. So the plot for it is that there's this boarding school for magical teens in the 1600s. In the 1800s. Give me a moment. I'm just going to double check the dates. It's in no, give me a moment. Give me a moment to check out the dates. Sorry, I have no control over stuff. I don't pay attention. Yeah, so the one timeline in the series is 1800s, and then they go time traveling to the 1940s. So there's two time periods, but though they exist like in the same country and stuff, it's time travel. So yeah, since it's time travel, would that make it not historical? Though like other than and also there's magic, so but I'm counting it because it has like other than that aspect and the magic and the time travel, there's nothing that's at least to me that feels like very foreign or very alien. So yeah, it has all the historical aspects and those stuff like lord and inheritance and stuff like that, and class and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna count this series. So yeah, as I said, I did a reread of this one. It's very fun to be back in this world. And then I read this one, Dark Passage, which once again they go to 1940s and help them during the Second World War. This time they actually go to France to help rescue some scientists. The scientists that invent penicillin, 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 that medicine. So that's really cool. And so that's kind of a bit more dangerous in a way because because they have to go behind enemy lines in occupied Nazi France. So that's very good. Dark Destiny, last book in the series. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I kind of felt like the ending was like, I suppose not abrupt, but like I felt like two of the characters got like a very ending, and the others just kind of like got like a line or two, or like you can do this or you can do this. Like I kind of wanted like more like maybe an epilogue, more just more closure. Like okay, so what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I didn't really get a feel of what the characters will be doing after the series, after this book, except for two characters. So that's kind of disappointed me really. Also, like I suppose this is more in general and stuff, but like so this series, as I said, this time travel, and then they time travel through portals, and then discover that the portals are portals slash mirrors, magical mirrors, and that the mirrors are there's several of them, and they're put around the world. So they know there's one in Wales, there's one in England, and then there's one in France. And they say that they think there's like many mirrors. They don't really specify how many, but like I think maybe they say like 7 or 5, something like that, like a short amount, a low amount, not like none. But they never really go that much into like the myth of the mirrors. They just kind of say Merlin made them for times in trouble, and then we don't really never really get any backstory or like get any closure on like okay, so if there's one in Wales, one in France, and one in England, where are the others? What are destroyed? What's happening with the others? I don't know. I don't know if that's because the author usually. I think the author usually writes mainly historical, so maybe she's not used to fantasy. Maybe the author wanted to have the door open for spin-offs, and that way you could like have a short story or fourth book with with a mirror in India. I don't know, because that way she can have mirrors wherever she wants to do them, instead of like being stuck with the places she said in this series. I don't know. I kind of would have wanted more there. And also, so like, there's this thing, as I said, that people have magic in this series, and like in the 1800s, it's a known fact people have magic, though it's kind of frowned upon for the nobility to have it. And then but yeah, the poor people they accept it. And then in the 1940s, it's not known as in our world. It's not a known fact. It's not like magic's not real. But yeah, so in the 1800s, in France, the military has magic users working for them, and they have a very powerful magician who's working for the Nazis and the French people. No, sorry, in Napoleon, he's no, yeah, it's in the second book. Uh, anyway, there's this very magical, yeah, very powerful magician who's evil, and then it's not really done that much around him either. It's just kind of there. I don't know. I really, as I said, I really like this series, but I felt like you could have done more with it. So I'm kind of hoping that means that the author wants to do more. I suppose anyway, like it's not. If it ends up just being this series and nothing more happens, it's not awful because it ends not awfully, but just slightly like open-ended and like open for more. So I'm hoping for more anyway. But all in all, it's an enjoyable series. Oh yes, let's say actually. I suppose I'm kind of a bit spoiled really because lately most of the fantasy series I've read, or actually most of the books I've read, and I don't really think it's been like very much on purpose, but just most of the books that I've read that are newer or yeah, just fantasy or just contemporary books in general, they almost always have like one POC character. They have one LGBTQ character. They have maybe one character that's female and like STEM. I mean, there's always some kind of diversity in that way. Here, that didn't really happen. You have well, okay, so in second book you have Jews, so that's I suppose yeah, it's not wrong. It's diversity there, but you don't really have any specific LGBTQ aspects. Not that's confirmed anyway. There might be some bisexuals or something like that. That's not just unspoken. I'm not sure. But yeah, other than that, there's not really that much of that. There's not really many people POC. Though yeah, as I said, there's some people from France that some parts of the second book. And I'm thinking of that. How do you define a POC? Because it stands for person of color. If you're from France or Italy or Spain, then you're not pale as me, but you're not very black. That seems weird to say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but you don't really look like. Okay, let's just say you don't look like Nicola Yoon. Okay, you might look like her. Okay, but yeah, you get my gift. How do you define POC? I might get some beef for this, but I don't really know how you define it. So if you define French people as POC, then that there is some diversity in here, but other than that, not really. So yeah, that's kind of saddened me a bit. But I suppose it's kind of good really to like nowadays because you're so used to having diversity in your books that like when you don't have it, you're like, there's something missing in this book. There's something wrong in this book. And I think that's really good because honestly, yeah, I don't really think some people talk about diversity like the diversity trend. Like it's some trend that's like coming and going and it's just a fleeting thing. Like no, it's something that's important and should be here forever and ever. It's like you used to talk about how females do like fantasy or have girls uh, shouldn't be in fantasy because girls should just be in kitchen, etc., etc. But now girls are all over in fantasy. It's just so normal. It comes in a way. Phrasing strong female characters kind of become cliched because we all know that it's just it's just girls you want to see. It's not just strong, but you want to see girls, like a variety of girls, and also like there's so many of them now. It's kind of cliche. So I suppose in a way it's good that physical cliche because that means it's been used a lot. But yeah. So yeah, let's move on, shall we? 10 minutes in, am I babbling? Maybe. Is that new? No. 10 minutes. Yeah. So then I also read Changeless by Gail Carriger. It's the second book in the Solar Protectorate series. So yeah, as I said, also I've had this goal this year to read one queer book or LGBTQIA plus book every month. This month it kind of worked. I started. I read. I suppose in a way 3 books. Like this one, it has LGBTQ aspects, though not the main character. So I suppose how you define like an LGBTQI plus book. Uh, yeah, so there's that, and then you also have 2 of the other books that I read also have LGBTQ persons, but they're side characters, so they're important. Well, one of them has confirmed illness. One of them might. Well, sorry, one of them has one relationship and then one maybe, and one sorry, and one of them has a confirmed aspect of it. So yeah, I don't really know how you define that, but I suppose also it's my rules, it's my reading. So and also I'm I've been reading them other times in year, and like this is June, so I'm reading all of them more or less. So yeah, I'm doing better now. But yeah, Changeless, it's very good. It's the second book in the Souls Protectorate series. Past moment, I'm back. Just got interrupted by the computer, it's being weird. So yeah, I'm back now. So yeah, Changeless, second book in the series. Very good. It's the first time you meet Channing of the Chesterfield Channings. Yeah, such a good old name, really. Very good name. Also, the first time you meet Madame. Okay, a moment. I just want to double check her name. Look at her. La ba da ba da 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 da. What's okay? Yeah, she's called Madame LeFou. So yeah, that's the first time you meet her as well. So it's very fun to like a connoisseur of the series to like go back to the beginning. Like, oh, that's how you meet them. It's just so fun. And yeah, still, yeah, confession time. Even though this is one of my favorite series, still this time rereading the series, I think I read it like twice or something like that before. Still, there's aspects about them confuse me, and honestly, I think those are kind of one of the reasons I kind of want a TV series of it because I think I will kind of understand what's happening more because I can see it visually. Though there are like you could always like get a comic book and then understand some of it, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, this book is really good, really good. Second book in the series, and yeah, that cliffhanger, yeah, that's that's meaty. That is hot ding dingity. And so yeah, this one is also, as you might suspect, it's historical, though it has paranormal aspects. It's historical with vampires and werewolves, and I was about to say magic. It's magic-esque steampunk, so it's kind of like magic with science, I suppose you can say. So yeah, this one again kind of applies. So yeah, most of the books that I read this month in May kind of applies. Some of them are pure historicals, but most of them like kind of works. But then again, like who's gonna yell at me? I mean, I go ahead for myself, so it's not like any teacher is gonna yell at me or something like that. So it happens really, and that just means that I have more pure historicals to read, enjoy later. So that's not really a big deal for me. So yeah, moving on. Then the last physical book, because yeah, I did read some audiobooks as well. But the last physical book is An Extraordinary Union by sorry, Alyssa Cole. I've actually heard this being described as her first YA, though after reading it, I'm a bit unsure. Uh, I don't think we get to know the age of Elle, the protagonist, but we get to know the love interest age, and he's 32. 32-year-olds normally aren't love interest in YA books. Also, there's quite some explicit sex in here, swearing and violence, so other than the characters being under 50, I'm not sure you could call this YA at all, really. And like, YA often is described as like being featuring teens or young people in their 20s. They can, sorry, uh, well, not young people in 20s, but like teens, and anyway. And often it's less sex, or if there's sex, there's not that sexy sex. There's not violent violence, and there's not that much swearing, often, really. And often things happen to your character for the first time. None of that happens here. So I suppose the only thing that's applicable is that the protagonist is. It's mentioned that she's over 20 because she lived 20 years somewhere. So at the point of the book, she's over 20. But more than that, you don't really get an aspect of it. I suppose she might have said I'm 21 or 22. I just didn't catch it. That might be it. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. Uh, so that the aspects of like the book with the sexiness and stuff kind of surprised me, but I did enjoy it. And like it's a Liz Cole book, so I wasn't surprised. I mean, she does write that in her other books as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed this series. It's a series, but like I really enjoyed this book. It's, as you might imagine a book with a African American who, and she's actually a spy during the Civil War in the States, so in the 1800s. And yeah, it's just very intriguing, fast paced, and both funniness and swooniness, and there's great quotes and great characters, and yeah, just do I have anything to say about this book that's not great? No, I don't. It's just so good. It's so good. I suppose maybe sometimes it's a bit too violent. Then you kind of just take a pillow from your head and then read it. I suppose you can't because you're reading it, but like I don't know, just read slowly then. Just be aware of that. But yeah, highly enjoy this one. And yeah, so this one is, as I said, it's historical. It has no historical. It has no magical aspect, so it's historical, and it's also diverse historical. So that's cool. And yeah, I very much enjoyed this one. As I said a few times now. Say it again with me. I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, that's that. In according addition to those, I also give me a moment. I also listened to the audio of the last magician, which is sorry, a time travel book, though most of it takes place in 1920s. So 1920s, 1910s. So it's historical in that way. Like, for example, the Outlander series. Is that historical? Is it time travel? Because most of the time it takes place in the past. And it's not that magic focused, is it? I haven't read all it. So yeah, so that one also kind of fits in this one. But yeah, The Last Magician by Lisa Maxwell. I've heard some people on Goodreads or like the Booksnet really enjoy it, and some people say like, yeah, it's a book, it's fine. So I was very curious if I would like it or not. Yeah, I listened to the audiobook. I like the narrator and I like the story. For most of the time, I thought it was good, but then when I finished it, I thought like, huh, I really enjoyed it. I can't say I loved it. Like some parts of it were like, okay, this is another chapter with this aspect. I don't really like that aspect. This was kind of tedious. Yeah, blah 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 blah. But all in all, I really enjoyed it. And definitely think I'm gonna continue with the series. It might be one of those series where like you kind of need you need all the pieces to like enjoy it much more in a way. Because yeah, sadly some series you kind of have to read them all to like get the whole picture and like, oh yeah, it kind of has to be like that to kind of enjoy it in a way. So yeah, I'll link it as always in the doobly. The next one I'm going to talk about, I talked a bit about, but I'm going to talk about it again because I just did. Well, kind of introduced it. It's By the Book by Amanda Sallent. It's a new book. It came out this year. It's contemporary, so yeah, not historical. It's a book about a girl who she goes to a new school, and it's about her uh, school year, making friends, and her love life or her lack of it in a way. And it's filled with book references, so it's very fun in that way. One of her sisters is lesbian, so there's that, so that's cool. And then one of her friends might be A. It's not confirmed, but it's kind of hinted at, so it might be that. Though if you say a book is queer if something is hinted at, I don't know if you can do that, but yeah. Um, blah 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 blah. I really enjoyed the book. Like it had like she had protagonist had a big family, so it was fun to see the family aspect of it all. She had some friends issues, but it's like it had some friends aspect as well. It wasn't just like arguing with the siblings and then finding a love. It was like the whole like aspect of her life, not just. I suppose the one thing you didn't really get, what you didn't see much during homework, but it didn't really bother me that much. But yeah, yeah. Only thing I didn't really like that much was the love interest. I didn't hate him, but just I think I found him maybe too flippant. I mean, yeah, he was kind of he did stuff and you feel like, what? That's arrogant. What? That's weird. And then stuff was explained, so like, oh, okay, so it's misunderstanding. So it's supposed to, in a way, Lisa and Mr. Darcy. But still, here, even though it was explained, I didn't completely love it. And like most of it was explained, but one of the aspects was you kind of knew from the start that it was what it was. And I was like, one time he didn't do his homework, so he tricked her to help him. I was like, you're a cheater? Really? 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 Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't like it at all. So yeah. I do think I'm going to read reading more of Manassalet. As I said, it's the first book. I suppose maybe I didn't say it, but yeah, it's a debut book. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's that. Then I also listened to The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Huang? I don't know. Um, it's the first in her series. I actually think it's the first book. Not completely sure. It's an own voices book uh, with a protagonist that's on the spectrum. She has autism, and yeah, it's I once heard about the book. There's no name. It's about a Asian American a woman who hires a prostitute to teach her about sex, and then it ends up teaching her about love, and they end up together. It's just a very nice, wonderful story, heartwarming and very good. So yeah, don't really have that much more to say about it. I really enjoyed it. Then the last book I read, last one I'm going to talk about now is Romancing the Duke. It's, as you might think, a historical. It's actually a Tessa Dare book. So Tessa Dare is a well-known historical author, writer of historical novels. Historical author, is that current authors who writing historicals? Is that authors from the past? I don't know. But hopefully you get what I mean. So yeah, she's very famous for writing historical romances. So I was kind of wanted to try one of her books. So yeah, Romancing the Duke. I liked it. I didn't love it. I think maybe I felt I talked about a bit about this one in an earlier video, but like I felt it kind of got like physical too fast. Not physical too fast, but like very fast. They thought about kissing and stuff. When I thought like, shouldn't you get to know each other first before you do that daydreaming and thinking? I suppose that's just me. Like I would think I would like to know people first before I do all the daydreaming of touching everywhere and stuff. But that's me. But yeah, I still liked it. So I'm not saying I won't read another Tessa book, but I'm not saying I'm gonna pick it up next. I suppose that's that really. So yeah, if you have any Tessa recommendations for me, please give them to me. And yeah, that's the last of it really. Sorry for the weirdness of 2 videos in one, but that's how it ended up being. And yeah, I'll see you later.